Climate chaos is the greatest challenge facing our nation and our planet. To save our economy and our way of life, we need to take it on head first by transforming America's energy economy to 100% clean and renewable energy, creating millions of jobs, and ensuring fairness for workers and communities as we transition to new, clean, green future. A really important place for us to start that transition right now is our transportation sector. Because here in America, transportation is the largest source of carbon emissions 3 years running. More people are embracing green energy through solar panels and wind turbines, and that's caused emissions in the power sector to drop. But thanks in part to efforts by the White House to attack fuel efficiency standards and tax credits for electric vehicles, we haven't seen the same decrease happening in the transportation sector. That should set off alarm bells and rally leaders in Washington to step up and act. So I'm introducing the Zero Emission Vehicles Act of 2019 to help move us in that direction and drive us forward. The idea of this bill is pretty simple. Starting in 2030, that's just 11 years from now, it requires that half of all new passenger vehicles sold in the United States have to be zero emission vehicles. And that percentage would keep climbing, going up every year until we reach 100% in 2040. Not only would this deliver $33 billion in total health and climate savings, but the American Lung Association says that by reducing 90% of the pollution that causes smog and soot, we would ensure 195,000 fewer lost workdays, 96,000 fewer asthma attacks, and 2,200 fewer premature deaths. I've always loved cars. Ever since my first car, a '62 Ford Falcon that I bought from my parents back in 1976. I drove that thing everywhere, up and down the Oregon and California coast, back and forth across the nation. But I'll tell you today, my wife and I are unabashed EV drivers. I love my Volt, and she loves her Leaf. And since we went electric, we've never looked in the rearview mirror. Every year, more and more Americans are becoming just like us. They're going electric, and they're not looking back. But there are still too many roadblocks standing in the way of more Americans making that change. The Zero Emissions Vehicle Act breaks down those roadblocks by building on the work of state and local governments that have embraced these standards. And it puts us on the same level as the 16 other countries that are already working to phase out internal combustion engines. It's a boost for the clean, green vehicles of the future. It's a boost for the health of Americans who will be breathing cleaner air. And it's a boost for our workers and our economy. So let's take the climate chaos challenge head on by helping transform our transportation sector with the Zero Emission Vehicle Act.